Hey everybody, it's Thursday evening. Thank you guys very much for joining us again right here for some strong therapy. How you guys doing over there, Carolyn and Brian?
We're doing great, Chris. How have you been this week?
Very, very well. Thanks for asking.
Good. This week's been a little crazy for us. Our daughter had a procedure today.
Endoscopy.
Yes, and everything turned out fine. We're just waiting on the biopsy.
Great.
Brian's been working on some home projects. He's working on, he's almost finished. He's finished with part of it. He got some shelving done, which is amazing.
You can actually park in the garage now. There's not a bunch of crap on the ground. And I built some elevated shelves and seems to work out pretty good.
Yeah, just family stuff this week. Podcast stuff. Called a few times in hot water this week already. Watched Chrissy Mayer's show, which was amazing.
That was something special.
It was a good show. I love to plug them because it's a great show and it's hilarious. So today we have a great guest. His name is Russ Baum. He is a wonderful solo acoustic singer and songwriter. Would like to bring him in and say, hey. Hey there, Russ. How are you doing?
Hey there, Russ. How's it going, guys?
It's doing good. So, thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you very much for joining the show. Yes.
My sister-in-law, Brian's sister, had told me about you, and I've been watching you here for a little bit, and glad that you decided to join with us. And I would love to get more viewers for you to get you some audience. I know as far as your
little promotion, if you will. Yes.
Yes.
I'll take the promotion. I also need the therapy. Most people who watch the show realize I probably need therapy. So that's why I'm here. I was told this strong therapy, and I feel like it's a good place.
Yes. You'll get blatant.
I thought you were going to say something.
You'll get a big blunt. You get a what? What did you think I was going to
We'll just let the audience decide what you were going to say. I don't know.
It's good that you came here. Is there actually, you kind of piqued my interest. Is there anything specific lately that you've had on your mind that you wanted to talk about? Because I'm here for you.
Oh, are you? Okay. How kind of you. Let's see. A particular interest on me right now is I'm just interested in seeing what the world's about and excited about getting back out into it, honestly.
Yes.
I need therapy, but I don't know where to even begin. I don't know where to begin, Carolyn.
Well, a lot of people have been having issues with staying at home and coronavirus, and you've been entertaining the masses with your music.
I think there's going to be a renaissance of new entertainment with comedy, music. I think when it all opens back up, it's just going to be like a whole new flower opening up in spring and a bunch of new stuff, and it'll be really exciting, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. Some people went back to the drawing board. Some people just gave up. I've watched lots of artists kind of drop off, and then brand new artists have found ways to find new stages online and all that. I think it's gonna be a whole new world. I've seen a major difference in my world and in my kind of group of artists that I work along with too. We've seen lots of fans are ready. I can tell you that fans are ready. Shows, everyone that's been going out and doing shows, I've been hearing how busy and packed they are. I've done a few myself, and it's just a whole other world of energy going on out there. Everyone's raring and ready. That's a fact.
Yeah, I think everybody, as far as on the audience side, someone like me, is to see other people too. Laugh and have the camaraderie and you're laughing or you're listening to a really good song and you kind of look over at another person other than the person that's been in your walls and see your
Right.
reaction, like just that feeling of,
I've been in her walls.
Ooh.
oh goodness, Russ.
Maybe I am in the right place for the therapy.
Yeah, he gives some good
Therapy.
So the first thing we're gonna do, or what I would like you to do, is tell me about some unique places that you've been, or before COVID, of course, in some of your concerts or tours.
Maybe one that sticks out, like something maybe crazy happened, or
all kinds of crazy things happen. All kinds of crazy things happen. I've been touring now for kind of full-time artist for over about 12 years now is what I've called it, my full-time job. So I've and it all started off kind of bar and pub hopping and all that sort of stuff, and then I ended up just kind of spreading out from Indiana all over the kind of U.S. But one of the coolest experiences was we were just discussing here shortly before the show started about Scotland and the UK stuff. That would have to be like my most profound experience touring, is going over there and doing tours with it's amazing, just the small town kind of people and all that I run into over there. It's very much so like a Midwest feel when I go over there. And but when we think about like events that stand out, it's always hard for me to think about. I'm sure this is a fairly cliche thing for artists to say, but it's all just so neat. If I want to think about things that stand out, then I start thinking about, well, it kind of stood out whenever I played a show in Indianapolis for literally no one for 3 hours. I stood out over the front page in Indianapolis, Indiana. This is probably close to the 11 or 12 years back whenever I first started, and I got hired to play outside. It was 95 degrees outside on the patio, and no one was out there. And I just still gave it all I got, because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to sing to these birds. I'm going to sing to these trees. And if I can sing to birds and trees, then I can sing to anybody, sort of thing. And I can get kind of lost in my head. So a lot of the standout shows are funny, but that's more of a standout show to me. There's lots of shows where it was, we've had a few people hanging out or a bunch of people hanging out and things like that. But it's those shows that are the ones where I'm like, I had to completely open up my imagination and I had to really pretend that there were people in those seats and still give it my all. And I think that was kind of what led to me just like really enjoying whenever people were showing up.
Yeah,
really
I can understand
the presence, which honestly has probably been a big thing of why whenever I didn't start doing live streams until COVID, and all of a sudden all my tours were like everything was canceled. My whole job in life was canceled suddenly, like many others. But I don't want to get too stuck on that, because we've heard that for over a year now. But I think that the fact that I got very comfortable early on singing to nobody, that suddenly whenever I was in front of my phone, it wasn't a big deal when I didn't hear like the response from the audience, or I couldn't see anybody, because I was like, oh, I've been here before. I feel like I'm back at the front page. I'm singing into a phone. And suddenly the people started paying attention. And now I've learned to feel the hearts and reactions as if they were the roar of the crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's been it's been a really cool thing. It's been a really cool thing. It's been honestly the biggest, doing that live morning show on the Rise is probably one of the largest and best moves I've ever made in my music career in the last 12 years. And I was really forced to do it. And I'm really happy that it started happening, and it's got a great response.
Well, that in itself is amazing to me. Like how you said you had to turn it into yourself and really trying to figure out something. That's what's been so amazing to me with musicians, comedians.
There's just been people that have just been making it work.
Yeah. Visual artists that, small businesses that are like trying to share, to make money, to get themselves out there, that are still motivated. It's sad when someone else, just loses it and quits the business and goes some other route. But it's heartwarming to me that you're continuing it as well as other people, and they're showing their passion in that way.
Yeah, you got to have a real passion to get through this last year.
Yeah, I tell you, it does take it's all in the attitude, I suppose, right? If you want to just get after it and be like, it's time to adapt. You know, we've all had to adapt in the past, never like we had to this year for sure. But, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, art and kind of a responsibility as an artist is to really document what we got going on and work the best with what you got. You know, materials given to you, what can you create? You know, I take those ideas very seriously, and you know, and I want to keep having fun for a living. You know what I mean? I like just thinking about going back to my standard position of work, which up to till I started doing this as a full-time thing, I was a meter reader for the electric company, and I was doing that I was a decade into that, and I enjoyed being outside, but I didn't enjoy the work and the idea that I had a boss telling me I had to be there every day, and I didn't feel like I was getting ahead, you know. And just to think about even locking myself back into that, you know, until touring comes back or anything like that was just heartbreaking. So instead, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna keep playing music. You know, I'm just gonna keep doing it. They can't tell me I can't.
Well, you know, and your audience loved it, and I think that's again showing us how much your audience or audiences needed that fans. Too. The entertainment fans.
Oh man.
A lot.
I did find it.
Yeah, and as someone that is a fan or audience in a new word, a lot of people from different podcasts we've been on, they've said, you know, oh, Carolyn and Brian, you guys made us laugh. There was days, you know, other comedians that we watch. We watch religiously.
It's nice to get the input from the fans and
them know that we're there every day just like them.
Mm-hmm.
And going through the same shit every fucking day, boredom, going crazy. Yep. Kids are screaming and yelling and fighting because they're ready to get out. But the hope that I'm so excited for is it looks like the world's starting to open up again. And that's the light at the end of the tunnel that we all need to focus on, because those of us that have tried something new, like me and Brian starting our podcast, you trying your Facebook page and doing that, it's still going to go ahead, and then we're still going to have the great outside, and those things are going to change. So yeah,
and it's something nice about being your own boss too. You know, someone not telling you you got to be here or there and whatnot. And you just, I'm going to do my own thing, kind of thing. You know, and
and we're gonna have fun.
It's gonna sail or it's gonna sink, but it ain't nobody's fault but mine.
Yeah, and we're gonna have fucking fun doing it while it lasts.
There you go.
Exactly.
Damn straight we are.
Well, I was wondering, I like to sometimes request music. Would you mind playing a few songs for us today, or a one or two, or whatever you would like to do?
Yeah, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'm here to entertain.
Well, thank you so much. Whatever you want to play, I want to hear it.
You got the pressure of the whatever you want to play thing. Let's see. I have to think about, you know, you'd think that I would think, but I really tend not to. And that usually works out best for me. But to try to think about what song we would do, I want to keep things nice and fun.
It's like, this is the part of the show where someone yells, play Freebird.
What, Chris?
I said, this is the part of the show where someone from the crowd yells, play Freebird.
Yeah. It's like, here's your Freebird, pal.
Yeah.
Freebird.
Exactly.
It's not a show without Freebird, as a matter of fact. So let's see, where would we go? I've got new songs.
Ooh, let's hear something new.
What's a fan favorite on the new ones? Well, see, I've got a lot of the show is wrapped around you know, positive outlook on things and positive and getting through depressions and stuff like that. And you know, we kind of all did it together this year. So I've got these songs. Let's see, I've got a song called "Take My Drugs" that's pretty popular. That's our band Meager Kings is putting together. They're gonna be putting out. I've also got another song. Like, basically, have been releasing music off of the Meager Kings project for the last few releases. But I'm trying to think of something. What I would do that would be like not boring or anything like that. I don't think any of it's boring. Don't get me wrong. I don't think any of it's boring, but I'm trying to think of what kind of mood we want to put out in here. Actually, you guys are a whole lot of damn fun. We could do something like getting drunk and doing drugs in here and probably have a good time. What do you guys think about that?
That sounds perfect.
That could work for me.
Getting drunk and doing drugs.
All right.
Works for me.
This is the kind of song that a man would write whenever he's in his early 20s. He's pissed off at his girlfriend because she wouldn't stop being I'm not going to call any people any names right yet. They'll say it in the song. But I was being an upstanding citizen of Indiana, of course, in my early 20s. Surely I wasn't up to any kind of no good. I was mad at my girl because she wouldn't be loyal, and I tell you the truth, I wasn't either. But either way, I was getting mad because I was calling myself a folk singer, and all of a sudden I look over on the back of this car. There's this bumper sticker. And the bumper sticker was making fun of folk musicians and talking about them going down to the river. We get it. You're going to buy an acoustic guitar. You're going to go down to the river and sing me a song about a girl you love. And it was like kind of like this piss off folk thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm a folk singer and I ain't going to take this shit anymore. So I wrote this song, and this is getting drunk and doing drugs. A lot of people call it going down to the river. So I don't want to sing a song about going down to the river, meet some little girl and falling in love. And no, I don't want to sing a song about a little bitch that never gave a shit. I'd rather sing about getting drunk and doing drugs. I was 16 the first time I got drunk. No, I can't say I ever cared about 21. And yeah, I've been popped a couple times. Had to walk a drunken line, but a couple nights in jail never killed no one. And I don't want to sing a song about going down to the river, meet some little girl and falling in love. And no, I don't want to sing a song about a little bitch that never gave a shit. I'd rather sing about getting drunk and doing drugs. I like to go out and get high with my friends, but I can't ever smoke too much. I get paranoid. Since I had a bad acid trip back in 1996, now ever since I played my life like it's a toy. And I don't want to sing a song about going down to the river, meet some little girl and falling in love. No, I don't want to sing a song about a little bitch that never gave a shit. I'd rather sing about getting drunk and doing drugs. Well, we like to go to parties where there's lots of blow. Well, I can honestly say that's something I'd never done. But I'll nail back a bit the Jim Beam when I need to blow off steam, and I'll swallow myself a handful of Vicodin. And I don't want to sing a song about going down to the river, meet some little girl and falling in love. No, I don't want to sing a song about a little bitch that never gave a shit. I'd rather sing about getting drunk and doing drugs. I'd rather sing about getting drunk and doing drugs.
Nicely done. I like it.
Does that work?
That's
Is that
fun.
one that'll work on the show?
That's a fun. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Fuck that bitch! Fuck that bitch!
Right. You motherfuckers seem to be all right. You guys are all right.
Exactly. Like, fuck. Goodness, that was brilliant. I loved that.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. It's a true story.
Well, true life is the best way to create. I mean, me and Brian talk about that often. Sometimes right before the show, I'm like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. I critique myself and he goes, just be yourself. I'm like,
be you.
Yes, exactly.
The guy in the friend zone would appreciate that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That goes out to all of our friend zone guys out there, you know.
Yes.
We know there's too many of them.
Friend zone girls too. I was the friend zone girl a lot of the time. So, but we wouldn't call them a bitch. We'd call them a motherfucker.
No.
Motherfucker.
Who does he think he is?
I know. Goddamn motherfucker. Anyways, Chris, we have coming up right now is
Segue.
is Brian's article, which is called
COVID gives man a 3-hour-long erection.
Oh.
A little bit of priapism.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, here we go. A rare complication of the coronavirus appears to be painful, prolonged erections. One U.S. victim of COVID-19 experienced priapism when doctors believe the disease caused blood to clot in his penis, according to a new study on the complication. Now, see, I've always thought personally that this COVID crap is more of a bloodborne illness. It seems like I don't know. It seems like it causes problems with the lungs and clogging up stuff, and you can't breathe, and I don't know, just nastiness.
Can we talk about how the left side says more on penises?
I know, right? I love that you found that.
I was wondering if like that was like a list of morons with it, like and maybe like dick pics.
Yeah.
Moron penises.
Or just a list of
idiotic wieners.
Or a list of politicians that we call dicks, you know.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Good old tricky dick.
Yeah.
In August, an obese 69-year-old was admitted to Dayton, Ohio's Miami Valley Hospital with a bad case of coronavirus. The anonymous man, who eventually died from other complications of the virus, was experiencing severe breathlessness, inflammation, and had fluid build up in his lungs. Medical personnel sedated him before placing him on the ventilator, but his condition continued to deteriorate. After 10 days, his lungs began failing, and the man turned face down. An emergency technique used to help air better move throughout the body. After 12 hours, when medics turned him face up again, the nurses noticed his shaft was erect.
Now, at this moment right here, when I'm looking over stuff, I start it because I was trying to like visualize this. So they flipped him on his stomach, right?
To help him breathe.
And like when you're getting a massage and it's the bed like this, I wonder if he was like, they noticed before that his butt was up a little bit because he had this strong.
Well, I don't know. I think they didn't find out until he turned over. He's probably waiting for a happy ending.
I know, but when they got ready to turn him over, he had a hump in his butt because he was so hard that he was pushing himself up. And they were like, "Whoa, Lulu, I don't see that here." I'm just making up my own stories.
I wonder what kind of struggle he was having. I don't know why it was necessarily to tell everybody that he was obese. Maybe that was the problem.
It's like
they're like that. It was an interesting description there to let you know this was.
I thought that same fucking thing because I was like, okay, they want what they're queuing into there, or at least my thoughts are they're queuing into other related issues. So he was not only had the coronavirus, but he was high risk because he's obese, or because he smokes, or because he's old. But they don't go into detail about race like they've been talking about in other things that different races have difficulties with coronavirus. They don't go into
I wonder if he just had a tired boner. Sometimes when you get tired, you just
a lazy bone.
Yeah.
Kind of like body's kind of bored, think I'll get a boner sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still alive, motherfuckers.
Compel you into action when you haven't been doing any cardio. Your body knows. It knows.
Exactly.
Well, maybe he just had like a short boner, no pun intended, before he rolled over and it like pinched off the blood and just left it in there.
Oh shit.
Maybe that was
like a capsule.
Maybe as a result of maybe it was more of an accidental boner, not caused by the corona, as it might have been just more of the position.
You know how they could have saved this whole problem is if they just installed a milking table at the hospital.
I would vote for that. I'd vote for that.
And
I'd put that into
they could have actually used the milking, the cum to milking like a cow. Like
I understand.
Why'd you look at me like that?
I see the videos.
They could use his sperm to impregnate other women.
Oh, okay.
You got any overweight men's sperm?
Obese.
Or obese sperm. I don't know. Be like, I don't know. So I got more of a Cadillac vagina. I need some obese sperm.
I know it might seem like
I
know it
got
might seem,
a lot of room in there. Let's spread the legs out. I could use the bigger stuff.
I know it might seem like an obese person would naturally have obese sperm, but that's not really scientific. The problem is he keeps bringing his sperm to McDonald's.
Oh.
Special sauce, if you will.
That reminds me of a horrible joke. I'm not a very good comedian, but you know, a quick way to tell if you had a high sperm count was if you had to chew before you swallow.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, there you go. You're welcome. This is your fault.
I thought you were just roasting me. That reminds me of a horrible
joke.
joke.
That to the table.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It'd be really bad if she broke a tooth.
I'll tell you what, if they had a milking bed at the hospital, I probably would never come home.
Right. That emergency line would be miles long.
Carolyn's like, Brian, why do you have $6,000 this year in ER copays?
Exactly.
They got a good TV there, I tell you.
Lots of fluids.
They keep extracting them from me. It's good stuff.
Oh, goodness. Well, I felt bad at this point. After 3 hours, unable to fix the situation with an ice pack, medics drained the man's penis of blood with a needle, successfully fixing the bout of, what's this word again?
Priapism.
Right.
Priapism. The man was unconscious throughout.
So they could fix his priapism, but not his lungs, apparently.
Right.
Hmm.
You know, they could have just manually taken care of it. They didn't have to get out a needle.
Would have been more pleasurable for the poor guy.
Right. Chances are he's just having a dream. He was unconscious.
Well,
finished the job.
Someone call in Helen. We need Helen to fix this. She comes in. Everybody else leave the room. I got this.
You see? Right.
I'm going to take care of this poor man.
Hand job, Helen.
Oh, hand job, Helen. Well, and two, there was another gentleman in a separate study published in the American Journal. He was a 62-year-old man who had contracted coronavirus, experienced an ice pack resistant 4-hour erection.
Ice pack resistant.
Yeah, exactly.
Never heard
It's
that.
fighting in the ice pack. We can tell it's fighting.
Yeah. And they had to do the same thing.
I'm going to tell you, hey, honey, I think this one might be ice pack resistant. What do you think? I'm going to need your hip.
Then I'm going to smile real good and I'll go, do you want me to use a toy or do you want me to use the manual?
I like the manual personally.
Yeah, so that one, that poor man, you know.
Yeah, they were both caused by blood clots, so there you go.
And again, like Brian was saying, he thinks it has something to do with, you know, and we're not medical experts, nor are we scientists. We are just average people giving our opinions. But yeah.
Allegedly, yes, we have to say allegedly.
That just sounds like the hardest case of corona that I've heard all year.
Yeah. It would be really hard.
I'm bound to say it.
Yes.
Someone was bound to say it.
Yes. It was a stiff coronavirus, I'll tell you.
Because you'd be older like that. Someone get my wife, quick. This hasn't happened in a while.
I know. Harold, come here, Ethel. Our other article is today, Russ, is doctor appears in court video while performing surgery.
Oh, boy.
He says, and I quote, "I'm in the operating room right now." So this gentleman, the backstory is the Medical Board of California said
California, there you go.
it would investigate a plastic surgeon who appeared in a video conference for his traffic violation trial while operating. Dr. Scott Green appeared Thursday in Sacramento Superior Trial. God bless.
Spit it out.
My mouth does something, and it's good at it. Sacramento Superior Court trial had virtually because of the coronavirus pandemic from the operating room. What I think that, the state medical board said in the statement to CBS Sacramento that it would look into the incident, and that's it. Expects physician to follow the standards of care when treating their patients.
Yeah, they should probably have their focus on the patient and not a courtroom video.
I'm really wondering if he had the knife in his fucking hand as he...
Yeah, this guy's a plastic surgeon.
Here's a fucking hand here, and he's like, yeah.
He's going to come out looking like fucking Chunk from the Goonies.
Rocky Road.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, this going...
Wow.
This going viral is going to be a medical malpractice lawsuit, because imagine you had him as your surgeon and like you're just casually enjoying your week, and then this viral story gets sent to you by your friend and you're like, wait, that was during my op room time. I feel like that's like as bad as when they leave a sponge in you or a rag. Like, I'm pretty sure the doc isn't supposed to be Zoom calling when he's got me split open in the abdomen. I don't know, but I feel like a good lawyer could turn that into $100,000.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, I guess he's taking his ticket pretty seriously, but it makes what if it went bad? What if the judge was like kind of jerky with him, and then he's gonna have to take it out on that patient? You know, that's what I'd feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
she'd turn in from looking like Cinderella to Ratchet Face.
Like
you don't remember Ratchet Face?
Yeah, I wouldn't want my doctor getting upset over something during the surgery either.
Just leave it at, I don't want my surgeon on a FaceTime or Zoom fucking meeting anywhere.
Kind of like my pilots. I want my pilots and my doctors to be happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I want them to be focused.
I mean, look at this quote that you guys found here. This is great. Hello, Mr. Green. Hi, are you available for trial? Asked a courtroom clerk, and as an officer summoned to appear in trial raised her eyebrows. It kind of looks like you're in an operating room right now. I am, sir, Green replied. Yes, I'm in an operating room right now. Yes, I'm available for trial. Go right ahead. If I read this article and I was on that table, man, I don't know, like, I'm getting Johnny Cochran if he was alive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would get the Hammer. We have the Hammer here in Indiana. I can't remember
Does he have
the
cool
guy's
commercials?
name, but he's the Hammer.
The Hammer. What if it was just a ruse? What if like he was trying to get out of that speeding ticket and he wasn't in a surgery room at all, and that was just some shit that he had in his garage?
He's just a serial killer.
He's like, yeah, absolutely, Judge. I take you very seriously. I take this 25 mile an hour speeding ticket very seriously. You know, as seriously as I take my job. As you see, Judge, like, he plays it out until the judge lets him go.
Yeah, has all these sounds and noises and buzzes going on. And we'll just dismiss the case. You look pretty busy today.
Yeah, you look pretty busy, pal. He was, yeah, I totally understand.
then it kind of freaks me out because I always go to bad thoughts and I'm like, why does he have all that shit at his house? Is he killing people? Like,
well, that reminds me of the Monty Python joke in The Meaning of Life, where they bring out the machine that goes.
Yeah. I've been watching some Monty Python, so it hits perfectly on the head.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be a big show for the judge, I tell you.
Well, I don't know, Chris. There's a video that we can actually see of the conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's. If you can cue that up for us, or if you see that.
Yeah, I would wonder his license might be in jeopardy because of this. I would think.
Both licenses.
Yeah. Give me your damn driver's and medical license, you son of a bitch.
You ain't fucking going nowhere, and you ain't cutting into anybody no more.
You ain't driving shit, you ain't cutting shit.
Watch.
Multitasking rose to a whole new level at a Sacramento Superior Court hearing last week.
Are you available for trial? It kind of looks like you're in an operating room right now.
I am, sir. I'm in an operating room. Yes, I'm available for trial. Go right ahead.
Board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Scott Green was sworn in for his live-stream traffic court hearing and then appeared to continue working while waiting for the court commissioner to appear. Commissioner Gary Link stated his objection.
I do not feel comfortable for the welfare of a patient if you're in the process of operating that I would put on a trial.
Dr. Green tried to reassure him.
I have another surgeon right here who's doing the surgery with me, so I can stand here and allow them to do the surgery also.
Not at all. I don't think so. I don't think that's appropriate.
Commissioner Link immediately put the brakes on the hearing.
I apologize, Your Honor, to the court. Sometimes surgery doesn't always go as
The court, you know,
efficient as we
it
hope.
happens. We want to keep people healthy. We want to keep them alive. That's important.
The Medical Board of California released a statement saying it expects physicians to follow the standard of care when treating their patients. The board is aware of this incident and will be looking into it. Dr. Green's office had no comment. Nichelle Medina, CBS News.
Dr. Green's a fucking moron.
Yeah, I'd
Probably,
say
You know,
so.
what the fuck?
I'd say so. The judge is like, "Hey, dumbass, really?" You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's worse than like the Judge Judy thing when someone comes in and is like, you know, that's some television shit right there.
Yeah.
That's just not even
That
real.
should be
It's
like on
funny.
a comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
He's gonna risk his
Like,
license to probably beat a $100
life.
ticket.
And to say, well, there's someone else in the room, they can take over. You shouldn't be like, number one, I'm going to get into this. So our daughter had something today. They have to be in and out of anesthesia as quickly as possible because you don't want a patient under anesthesia for long, because the more you're under it, the harder it is for, I think, you to do it. So if he's doing whatever, yes, and just hesitates, that's time for the patient to be under.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, even the other doctor is probably not 100% focused on the patient. I mean, who cares if there's two surgeons in there? I mean,
Well,
Imagine
It's not like
the
pilots.
eye roll that were happening in that surgery room with the other doctors and nurses. It's like,
oh yeah,
Dr. Green, I knew you were an ass. Like, this proves it even more. Like, there's probably a list a mile long of how stupid this guy is. You know, about worker complaints about, okay, this dumbass actually
there's
did
probably
this
a fucking list of them. I mean,
I wonder if he's a complete narcissist. You know, I'll just drive any way I want, and you know, he's probably a womanizer. And
there's
let's get into Dr. Green's.
Dr.
Yeah.
Green really fucking probably seems like there's several stories that I've listened to about doctors or whatever that they are like that. There was a serial killer doctor in Houston that nurses and people that worked in his office and shit would turn him in, and no one did anything. The board, they just kept him because he built up this big, huge, so he could be like this good doctor because he's good at selling his face and the surgeries and stuff like that. And if he's umbrellaed under even another company, they won't get rid of him. It takes a lot to get someone
I could just see
unlicensed.
Dr. Green going into a restaurant. Yes, I'm a Dr. Green, and I would like to get a table immediate, please.
Yeah,
Even though there's a line waiting.
yeah,
Dr. Green, your
I
table.
have a PhD.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a PhD and a NWA playing in the car. Yes.
Wow.
By the way, Carolyn, you want a fun fact? You were talking about the general anesthesia surgeries and why it could be a bit of a, you know, like a risk and stuff. Was that
Yeah.
was that her first one?
Second,
Guess how many I've had with general anesthesia?
how many?
13.
I got you beat, motherfucker.
do?
I got like 16.
Jesus, what is up with us? I didn't even know. I've never had someone outpace me on those surgeries
Yeah.
unless they were missing body parts or something.
I am,
She is.
Oh, Jesus! I'm
but
sorry
not
to-
the important ones. All my holes are good.
I think the only thing left you can take really is an eye and her spleen.
Got the robo parts. Otherwise,
Yeah,
Pretty much.
That's pretty much all she can lose now. Then she's going to start missing the important stuff.
And I always, when you go through like security, it beeps because they left a staple in my stomach and they said, oh, it's okay that it's in there.
oh, that's because they don't want to get sued. They're like,
Yeah.
no, don't worry, that'll be fine.
They're like, you have metal in you. And I was like, what? Well, I've had a lot of surgeries. Oh, it's a staple. It's okay.
Just think of it like a rod in your leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally normal.
Except we
Just
forgot it.
call
in
me
there.
Bionic Carolyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next article. Wait, nope. Sorry.
No, it's ready for our next segment, actually.
I didn't.
Segue.
Relationship smash up.
The whole therapy. Here comes the therapy part.
Oh no, therapy.
A little bit of therapy. You'll find this quite interesting. With us being Midwesterns, we know about inbreeding. But this article is called Study Suggests Link Between DNA and Marriage Satisfaction in Newlyweds.
Yep, some of my tree doesn't quite go as
You don't have
out as it should.
He don't have very many branches.
I'll just say my father was from Kentucky, if that tells you anything.
For the work research studied 142 newlyweds, 71 couples, a subset of a larger group used for other studies. The newlyweds' DNA was collected 3 months after being married, and they also completed a survey that point as well as one every 4 months for 3 years. At the end of the study, researchers compared survey results with the CD38 variation and found that those with the specific CC variation reported higher levels of traits corresponding to marriage satisfaction. CC individuals felt more grateful for their partner, reported higher trust in their partner, were more forgiving of their partner, and were more satisfied with their marriages than were the AC/AA individuals, the researchers wrote. While the work points to a possible genetic link to marriage satisfaction, Macanovia notes that it doesn't mean those without the CD38CC variation will not have a successful relationship.
So basically, it's just hogwash.
Pretty much. But we do know, right, Russ, that since there's a thing called kissing cousins, you know, there's something about being that close to your family. It must be the DNA.
Now you quit kissing that girl every time we go over there for Christmas and Thanksgiving now.
Well,
Yes.
you know.
It's like, don't you know you can just kiss her at home? She's your sister.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I just, when we talk about being happy in a relationship or anything like that and being attracted to someone, you know, I learned when I went to art school, you know, I would be drawing faces, or I would be drawing
naked men
or anything like that. We had the discussion of when you're drawing a face, you tend to want it to be so perfectly symmetrical. And the professor at the time said, explained to us that you're usually attracted to someone with and who society thinks is the most beautiful is someone that is completely perfect, eye shape, same size, all the measurements are the same, and we tend to want to draw that way, but people aren't that way, so you have to look beyond. One boob bigger than the wait, Rocky Road. But as far as that's concerned, do you agree with the fact that you know, how we perceive this perfection in finding someone, or do you think it's more of a mental thing, or do you think it's a physical thing when you're looking for someone or when you're with someone? What gets you going?
Let's see. Well, it's kind of interesting to me that I think about we hear a lot of times, you know, it's pretty. It goes along with on the side of the DNA thing matching up and things like that. Is interesting because they always say we try to, as men, we try to find women that are much more like our mother figures, and women end up finding men that are much like their father figures and things like that. And I think we find accidentally things that are attractive that are similar in that sort of realm of things, you know. But yeah, I don't know. So I could see maybe how that would work out in that way. You know, I've sitting there trying to think about what your question was. It kind of got me a little bit distracted there for a second, thinking about let's see. I'm totally spacing what your second question, what your question was on that.
Fine, honey. Just like in when you're looking for a love interest or a partner, what have you noticed about that you've been attracted to, or what drew you to them?
I think that's why we have a number system of 1 to 10, because everybody's not going to be symmetrically perfect, and that's okay. I mean, you're attracted to what you're attracted to, I think, and I think with men it's somewhat physical. Sure, I mean, we can see if you've got nice boobs or nice legs or nice butt.
I would have to agree that I agree with that, but I also think women are that way too. I mean, I like a good butt. George Clooney's butt and black pants gets me going. Good eyes, someone that listens, but then that goes into the
when he has the best butt in the world and he's just like,
I don't
what
care.
you say? What?
Just roll over, George.
Yeah, exactly. But females too, have a type or what they're interested in too. I don't think I was more.
I don't think it's as important, the physical stuff is to women. It's more mental.
Yes.
The aura. I feel like the aura of the man to her is like what does it, right? Like some concept of the whole picture, not just like, oh, he's hot, so now it's good.
Yeah. And even I think, in relationships in the past that I've had, Russ, I know that I've looked beyond the looks.
How much fixing do I have to do here?
No.
What kind of damage can I repair? What kind of experience do I have with body work?
I am a helper. I like to help.
The symmetrical thing, maybe it's obviously we're like, no one is perfectly symmetrical, but like maybe we are attracted to people that are similarly symmetrical with ourselves. Kind of do that, the yin and yang, the opposite. Like,
and how you also said, Russ, about how I'm losing it too. How you said attractive, Brian said with an aura or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's also that attractiveness where I think the mother and father, that's what I was getting at when you said the mother and father. I think too, I've read articles where they're attracted to people that look like themselves. Like, to me, that's a little conceited.
I think if you just, with me, I think it was like traits that you're familiar with from your family when you're growing up. Like when your sister said, I went over there for the first Thanksgiving and her sister Tina went, "Get out of the kitchen, you motherfuckers!" I was like, I'm home.
Go right at home. I'm attracted to this.
Yeah.
I know this.
I know the screaming and yelling and the get the fuck out of here and get away from me while I'm trying to make the goddamn stuffing. Yeah, that was no shit. That really happened. Andy,
I ain't bullshitting.
One of the things I really love about my wife is she's very forward and like I can be a very forward person. I can be reserved to get to know people. I also like I'm the kind of person I like taking your time to get to know each other, because there's no rush. There shouldn't be a rush for that sort of thing. So it's like I don't like it. It was always a turn off whenever someone would try to like force the attraction on me, no matter how whatever good they looked or whatever. It was just like annoying. Things like that, or I would try not to be annoying myself, although you'd be bugging somebody because you want their attention. But I like being open and honest and be able to be like someone you can just be yourself around. Meaning like my wife, she was she's a great damn person, and like one of the things she liked about me most was that I had been to jail before. You know what I mean? Like she was just like, she didn't have to feel bad about like having a beer or whatever, smoke a little bit of weed or something like that. She's just like, because she was, when we got together, she'd probably be embarrassed of this at the same time, and not really. This has been almost a decade ago, but we first got together, and she was worried because of her previous boyfriend had kind of really lectured her hard about her drinking, and she got in trouble, kind of got a DUI, and he like abandoned her over that because he thought it was just the worst thing in the world. How could somebody do that? And it made her feel really bad about herself and ashamed of it. And then whenever we were talking early on in our relationship, I was like, well, it's like I've done this before, this and that. And she's like, oh, this makes me so happy to know that you've been in jail before. It's just like one of those like funny things about it, and then, traffic violations or whatever, like silly stuff like that. But it's kind of funny what people get attracted to. And that's like nothing within her background. Like nobody else in her family has ever like been in that kind of troubles and things like that. So she felt like a black sheep of the family. Then suddenly there's this ridiculous guy that's living the lifestyle that I live. that came along and, have a heart on me, you know what I mean? So I care and we really help
And you didn't
each other
judge
grow.
her. That's
No, I didn't judge her.
And that's
Yeah, I
the
was going to
honest
say,
thing.
you're coming into a no judgment zone.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
is also, if you're coming into a new relationship, that people need to not judge as much as they do. You can have your standards, but don't put that other person down for whatever reason. And
Right.
mistakes happen. We're human. We're not Jesus Christ. We are not going to ever be Jesus Christ.
Bullshit happens.
I mean, it happens. So that's a lovely story. You'll have to tell your wife. I love that. So, and I don't judge. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't have time to judge. If I spent time judging, I wouldn't get anything done myself. As is the way that it is. I mean, I bicker and bitch about people sometimes, but in the end of it, like who am I to judge? I'm just as weird as the next person. I made just as many mistakes as the next guy. And if either I've made a mistake that I can help someone else through a piece of their life in and kind of teach them through my mistakes, or I look up and realize I haven't made all my mistakes left, and maybe this next person I'm standing next to is teaching me something I'm going to need to know, because of their mistakes. It's just an interesting thing there. But that's really finding your best friend is really what I think finding your partner for marriage is really about. And that takes you love your best friend no matter what. You know what I mean? Like no matter what.
We agree with that completely. Like we're besties.
There you go.
I mean, it's important to have these standards. Like in the article, it talked about how, you kind of want to look for a CC individual. And while CC can be very satisfying, I find that the DD is much more compelling. I don't know. It's just personal choices, I guess.
Exactly.
Well, she likes the D.
Yeah. So we all have heard of OnlyFans, or if you haven't, Russ, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or whatever. Have you heard of OnlyFans now?
Oh yeah, I've heard of OnlyFans.
Cool. So our next article.
So have I.
You're on it right now.
Maybe I've heard of that. I don't know.
The next article in Relationship Smash Up is my hubby takes my sultry OnlyFans pics, and our marriage is stronger.
Not
than ever.
ours, not ours. This is someone else.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
You made it sound like I was taking your pictures.
Hey, you got to make your money these days.
I don't know. If I was making $6,000 a fucking month, I think we'd be pretty good. But anyways, we have the saying goes, behind every great man is a woman.
Do I have to take pictures of your cooter?
But for Kelly Stark, it's more like behind every great woman's an X-rated snap is a man. While his 50-hour week a job as an IT manager pays $250,000 a year, Stark's husband has an unusual side gig, shooting racy material for Shark for strangers to lust over online.
Damn, they're in another tax bracket.
Yeah, they ain't getting that $1,400. Not them.
He's making $250,000 a year, and she still has to do OnlyFans.
That's just ego.
They must be in California.
That ain't right. People do that though. It's kind of wild, isn't it? That's like that opened up. It's the DIY pornography industry.
Wow. She's got some hangers.
But I see that she, on
learned
her.
a couple years ago that my love language is actually words of affirmation.
Look, she kind of shows her boobs in her butt and says something about positive affirmation.
Of course, that love turns into sexual feelings.
So she gets a little excited when these pictures are happening, huh?
Your husband is lucky.
Show him your ass, damn it!
I love how they dropped that in the censor right there.
Sexy
yeah, I know.
Mishaps. I saw him, kind of batting away, and just, he was saying there was something buzzing around him, and it stung him while he was taking photos of me. So I think at that point I may have been
4-hour-long boner he can't get away from.
I was very disappointed.
He's gonna have to go and get a needle to get the
I felt
clot
really
out.
good that day.
I can look at her husband looks like back there. You can like look like he's dead inside. It's like
angry all the time.
He's just like.
Is I do anything she says. She owns me. She's got lots of blackmail material. Isn't really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, she also goes to Dr. Green to get her facelifts quite often and get her nose done.
Right.
And he's talking about having her on his show that he's going to have out on TLC called Phoning In.
See, as the tech guy, I'm just happy to see he's using a gimbal.
Yeah, and he's got a proper circular light there.
Yeah, I use the circular light. I've got one of those right now. You can turn it up, and I'll just bend over just like she is. If you guys want to start me pictures. I'm no Mel Gibson, but
I like her. I'm impressed with her ass. It's not, she looks like she's probably my age, and her skin looks amazing.
She's no spring chicken, but she's definitely still. Got it for the cocks, if you will.
Listen, and her OnlyFans pay $9.99 a month to watch her.
And it's not even porn. That's what's funny. It's like you can this is Instagram shoots, if you ask me. Like, this is what girls put on Instagram. Maybe not the little butt cheek shots, but like straight up. I mean, this isn't stuff you'd pay for. She's cute, but I mean.
Well, and it says for those with deep pockets can shell an extra $25 per minute for a custom video of her using a sex toy while saying the client's name.
See,
I wonder how she says it.
That's a little addition, I suppose.
Yeah.
Barry.
You got to pay her to say other people's names, like you set up your friends and get them in trouble.
Barry.
That is great.
For $25,
Yeah, $25 a minute.
But I used to ask myself, with all the free porn online, why are people signing up for OnlyFans? And I had a theory, which is it's not people that just want to see some kind of, picture or video. They can find that for free of usually hotter women. It's someone that wants that experience who's kind of lonely, and they're like, this person responds to my message once in a while. They do a custom video because I pay them. And for some reason, the fact that they're paying seems to go over their own head. I don't know, but I think
the personalization of it.
Yeah, like she's smart for doing that because I think that's the target demo, not just dudes who want to see some tits.
Right, and even her husband,
what does she do with that toy?
Yeah.
Does it say?
Whatever you want, baby.
$25 a minute.
Exactly. Fucking the average is 75 minutes, $75. So she's making $75 every 3 minutes. Fuck
3 minutes.
But I was hoping.
Hey, where the hell did that toy go?
Uh-huh.
See, when I heard this story, though,
you'll have to stay back on for the cleaning section.
Is that the response to the pandemic in the strip club world? Is that what happened? It all went on.
I think it started that way because when I started hearing about it, there was some YouTube channels that I was watching, and it would be strippers. And one.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, people that it's like what we're doing with music and comedy, going to the internet, the same thing, I guess. With the strippers and whatnot.
Some stars out there.
Yeah.
Little tip in the dancer there, I suppose, something like that. That's like it's like the guys that go now. It's been a long time since I frequented those establishments that are in my life, but there was always. One of my buddies, you'd leave out of there and he was in love. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, she gave me your number. She's going to call me. She said, like all that. There's always that. So like these dudes, and the girls, I suppose, wherever everybody's doing that, like people, whenever they're lonely and they're like, I was like, she doesn't love you, homie. Like you gave her $300. Like to promise you that's not what you got there. I promise you that this is probably not the beginning of your next relationship.
I actually I did pull that off one time.
I completely agree with you because I went with Brian to those establishments, and the first time
Gentleman's Club.
The first time we ever went, I told him, I said, I've never been. I said, but I want to go and I want to see what it's like, because I had heard horror stories like every girl hears. Like we have the worst.
You hear like the cinematic version of what doesn't really happen.
Exactly, the affair, like kind of like your friends thinking that they're going to get someone, but they don't.
Yeah, I always suggest listening to the Tubes.
And
before you go,
usually this is exactly what when I went, this is what I saw. I'm going to give you a visual. They're riding, right? And then all of a sudden they do this. Well, the guy's eyes is probably closed because they're looking for the next John.
Yeah, they're looking for the next one.
They're not gonna marry him. They're
Don't
not gonna
fall in love.
Yeah.
They're just out there. They're just out there trying to get themselves through college or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they're out there trying to do or score up on. But it's like, you know, to me, like on a serious note on that, like that's like those are sad places. Those are sad places.
They can be,
Brian,
especially during the daytime.
I'm with
And
you.
Christmas.
Right. Yeah, the Tuesday night lunch hour,
Yeah.
Tuesday lunch hour. Yeah,
I came
not
in for the
dealing with
steak and
A
legs.
squad there.
Russ,
Merry
I'm with you on that
Christmas.
one,
We're
man.
here for some puss.
I know,
Anyways,
Only
Russ,
people out there.
we really want to say thank you for coming on our show today.
That was a quick hour.
I know. We enjoyed every minute of it. Is there anything coming up for you? Any concerts that you'd like to talk about or?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, coming up here in Indiana, I've got a couple things on March the 26th. I'm going to be in Peru, Indiana at the Corner Lounge.
Nice.
That's always a whole lot of fun. I love Peru. I've been playing there for years and going back there for the first time since over a year ago. So that's likely to be a massive and exciting good time. The next day on March 27th, I'm with the artist Kyle Smith out of Ventura, California. And we're playing a show in the Brownsburg, Avon area, and that's a private party, not really a private party, but it's a privately ran event. Let's put it like that. But anyone's invited to go. If you want to go to that, you can just send me a message or something like that, and I can get you out. I think the late night show is sold out. I think there's like 5 tickets left for the daytime show, and then beyond that, I'll be touring in April throughout Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Florida, and Virginia. So, basically just if you follow the Russ Baum on Facebook, basically facebook.com/Russ Baum. I go live every single Monday through Friday, 9:30-ish in the morning. Always going out there and putting out our, all the good feels and vibes, and we got a great group of people that hang out there. And I'm just about to my 1-year anniversary on that, where in the entire year, like in 1.5 weeks from now, will be the first. It'll be my 1-year anniversary on that, where we did it. I missed 2 Mondays out of the entire year. We did it every Monday through Friday minus 2 Mondays. So I'm gonna have whatever that adds up to is like 250 shows or something ridiculous last year. So that's been really the main drive. So if you want to find out more about me, come and visit me on facebook.com/Russ Baum. I'll be there.
Sweet. Well, thank you again for coming. We'll be watching you. Hopefully sometime you can come back again. It was lovely to have you here. So
absolutely.
We'll see you next time. Okay. Thanks, Russ.
All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for having me too. I'll be supporting Strong Therapy.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Now, should we call out the old man to talk about the OnlyFans?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to him about OnlyFans. Yes.
Okay, let me get him.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hi there, old man. Have you heard anything? Have you heard of OnlyFans?
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Is that on the internet webs?
Yeah. Do you use the internet? Do you have a computer?
I have AOL.
Oh, you've got mail.
Yeah, it says you've got mail.
Oh, that's a little old. Have you gotten on there and watched any kind of videos?
No, I only have dial-up.
You got to get with the times. I'll get you with Brian. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, OnlyFans is where a woman can take videos or take pictures of herself in erotic ways. Would you be interested in something like that?
What do you mean erotic?
Well, she could be...
Does she dance and show her knickers?
Yeah, even more than knickers. Big knickers.
Wow.
Long knickers.
I like that.
Yeah, and also you can subscribe and get personal ones where she'd go, "Oh, old man, you're so good to me."
Does she show her knees?
Yes, and ankles.
Wonderful.
Do you think you could afford $25 per minute?
What?
Yeah. No?
No way!
Well, how much did you pay for a little peek at an ankle when it was your time?
I got about 25 cents.
Well, today, that was our 25 cents from Strong Therapy. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.